Good morning. How are you this morning? Oh, no. Really? He did? Why? Oh, it was an accident. I see. Everything's all right now? Good. You know, boys and girls, I don't think our pumpkin seeds are really going to grow. No, I really think something was wrong. I don't know. You know, sometimes seeds grow and sometimes they don't grow, and I'm afraid this morning I've really decided that ours aren't going to grow. No. But if yours have grown, and you have pumpkin vines, you know, that are about like that, you know what you have to do with yours? Well, you have to break the eggshell away and take the soil and the vine and some more soil and transplant it into a flower pot. Will you tell your mother, please? We can't do it because ours didn't grow. We don't have any pumpkin vines. No. So we can't do it. You know what we're going to do, though? Ooh, wait till you see what's on the wall this morning. Oh, so many. But there's something else very extra special about it, too. Oh, you're going to be so surprised. Look, bells. Yes, with paint. With crayon. And another one. See the clapper? Here's one with a jingle bell for a clapper. Yes, and another one. And 3. And look at this big bell. And this one. Yes, you did. You made it on a paper towel, didn't you? And this one. Look at all of those. Cut out of paper and pasted on. Made out of cotton. Every picture is a picture of a bell. Here's one that's right in the television set. And look at that one. And this one has so many bells. Yes. And more bells. Look at that one. Every one. Isn't it fun? Yes, and each picture was made by a different child. How do you like that? Oh, I know. Say, that's a big one. That's a big one, too. Here's another one. And another one. And this one, but that's not the last one, because we have more. Look right here. We have 2 rows this morning. And each picture is still a bell. That's right. Look at this one cut out of paper. This one is a cardboard one with a clapper. Look at that. It goes back and forth. Oh, I like that one. And this one is cut out of paper. And paint. And cut out of paper. Another one. And another one. Look at that one. Yeah. Say, this one takes the whole page. Yes. And this one. This one. This one. Yes, some more. And, oh, with a snowman, there are 2 bells. And this last picture has 2 bells. Surprised you that time, didn't I? You didn't expect to have 2 rows of bells this morning, did you? Are you sure? You thought there would be? Well, did you think each picture would be a picture of a bell? Are you teasing me? Are you? Say, we're going to do something else extra special this morning, too. No, I'm going to show you. No, look what I have. So many things. Well, sweet potatoes right here. Look at that one. Yes. Isn't that an interesting sweet potato? If you put it down like that, it looks almost like a seal. Yeah, I know it does. This one is, well, this one is kind of a fat sweet potato. Look how big around it is this way. Yes, it takes both hands for me to go all the way around it. Well, these are really sweet potatoes, both of these. And I have some other potatoes. Look at this one. Yes, this one is a, did you say an Idaho potato? You're right. Sometimes she calls it a white potato. Oh, well, we have another great, big, enormous one. Well, that's the biggest Idaho potato I think I've ever seen. You want to see the other side? Looks like that. Isn't that a great big one? Well, no, we're not going to plant those, but we are going to plant a sweet potato this morning. We've done it before, haven't we? Oh, now let me see. Which end should I cut off? I have a very sharp knife, the kind that you never use. No, your mother does it, doesn't she? And I have a board so that I won't cut the table. Now, look, I'm going to cut, and it's hard, even with a very sharp knife. It's very hard to cut. There. See? That's the way a sweet potato looks when you cut it open. Now, right here's my Idaho potato, and this is the way the Idaho potato looks when you cut it open. See? Like that. Yes, this one really is darker. I know it. No, I'm not going to plant the Idaho potato. I'm going to plant this one. And I'm going to put it in the bowl like so. See how it stands up now in the bowl? Well, it leans over that way because that's the way the potato leans. Well, those are all little spots on the sweet potato. Well, of course, a sweet potato needs water, boys and girls. So look. Just about that much. And where am I going to put it? Well, I'm going to leave it right here now. And if you plant a sweet potato, you either put it on a table or on a windowsill. And one of these days, it will. One of these days, it will grow. Sure it will. Well, that was kind of extra special, wasn't it? But you know, we have a story. Oh, I think you know it because we've had it before, and it's called Growing Things. And it really is a story about a little girl who plants a sweet potato. Yes, and she has a great big sweet potato vine. Are you? Are you all ready to sit and listen? Are your legs comfortable? Are they? Well, good, because look, right here. Yes, there's the sweet potato. That one with a bump right there. Have you ever seen a sweet potato vine? That sounds funny, because a potato is something that you eat for lunch or for dinner. But a sweet potato is a different kind of potato, and you can help it grow a beautiful vine. What comes next? Well, let's look. I know a little girl named Susan who has the most beautiful sweet potato vine I ever saw, and this is how she helped it grow. One day, when Susan was shopping with her mother, they went into the market. Her mother bought a lot of groceries. Some were in cans, and some were in boxes, and she bought a bag of potatoes, too. Did your mother ever buy a bag of potatoes? Oh, she did. Oh, and you helped her take them out of the bag. Well, when they got home, her mother emptied the bag of potatoes onto the table, and she was going to peel them for dinner. Well, look at this, said Mother, picking up one of the potatoes. Here is a funny old sweet potato. How do you suppose it got mixed in with the others? I don't know. How do you think it got mixed in? Just by mistake. I'm afraid so. Look at that. Susan looked at the sweet potato. Yes, it looked very different from the other potatoes. It was bumpy, and it had one bump on top that looked almost like a hat. Did you ever see a sweet potato that had a bump that looked almost like a hat? Did you ever see one that had a bump on top? Well, her mother cut one end of the sweet potato and one end off another potato, just like we did this morning, see? To show Susan how different they looked inside. Yes, one is darker. The sweet potato was yellow, and the other potato was white. Well, you try it. One sweet potato is not enough for dinner, said Mother. You may have this one. Why don't you put it into a bowl of water and see what happens to it? Susan put the funny old sweet potato into a bowl of water. See how she's holding it up? It stood up very straight because the place where the piece had been cut off was very flat. Susan put the bowl on the windowsill. That's a good place for it, isn't it? On the windowsill. You must water it each day, said Mother. So each day, Susan watered the sweet potato with her watering can. And one day she noticed some thin little white things that looked like threads growing from it. These are roots growing from the sweet potato, said her mother. You can see all those little white things. They do look like threads. I know. Well, a few days later, when Susan was watering the sweet potato, she noticed there were some little red sprouts on the side of it. And she turned it around. And there were some little red sprouts on the other side, too. There was even a little red sprout growing from the bump on top that looked like a hat. I know, they are. They're red. You watch when your sweet potato grows. Yes, said her mother. The sweet potato is starting to grow, and you have helped it by giving it water and daylight. Susan looked at her sweet potato each day, and each day the red sprouts seemed a little longer. And then one day, she found a green leaf growing from one of the red sprouts. That's fun when you find the first leaf, isn't it? Now your sweet potato is growing a vine, said her mother, and it will grow a little longer each day. She gave Susan a ruler. Now, do you know what a ruler is? Do you remember? Yes, you measure with it. She gave Susan a ruler to measure the vine. Every few days, Susan measured the longest vine and made a mark on the ruler with her crayon so that she could see how much it had grown. Well, soon the vine was as long as the ruler. And when Susan told her mother this, her mother gave her a yardstick to measure the vine. Well, now a yardstick is longer than a ruler. Yes, Susan is holding the ruler, and her mother is holding the yardstick. I think so. Well, now the sweet potato had many leaves on each of its vines. It looked very pretty there on the windowsill in the light. It does look pretty, doesn't it? And every few days, Susan made a mark on the yardstick to show how long the vine was. One day, when she showed her mother the yardstick, Mother held it up beside Susan. And you know that the mark on the yardstick was almost as high as Susan's head. Can you imagine that? The vine had grown so much that it was almost as long as Susan was tall. Mother and Susan both looked at the vine on the windowsill. It's a beautiful vine, said Susan. Yes, said her mother. And did you think that such a beautiful vine could grow from that funny old sweet potato with a bump on top? Didn't you think it would? You did? You like that story? Oh, so do I. I like that story very much. Yes, and I'm glad that we planted a sweet potato this morning. And I truly hope that our sweet potato grows very fast. Don't you? Sure. Yes, and I have something else right over here that I want to show you. Look, the big yellow box with the big blue letters on it. It says, Kix, what? Crispy corn puffs. Sure, and when you take the box and what? Fill your bowl, what happens? The Kix do what? Yes, they bounce around because they're so crisp. Listen to them. So crisp and fresh, yes, and crunchy. Isn't that right? I like that word, crunchy. And then do you put a little sugar on them? Just about that much? And milk? And boys and girls, do you know that Kix stay crisp, clear to the last spoonful, even after you've put the milk on? Did you know that? Oh, that wonderful corn flavor. I know they're delicious. Well, you know, boys and girls, I have something else that I want to show you right here. A train. Look at that. The engine, the coal car, the gondola, the boxcar, and boys and girls, this door opens. Oh, I like that. And the caboose. Yes. And also, boys and girls, look, we have a new Kix box. It says Kix right there, and the bowl right there, and the train right there. And I want to show you the back of the box because, look, yes, look at all those wonderful things. There's the train and the engine and the caboose and the coal car and the gondola. I know, and you'd like to have it, wouldn't you? Well, I'm going to tell your mother how to get it. Yes, she will. She'll have to send the top of the Kix box and some money. But I'll tell her how to do it. All you do is remind her. Oh, say, you've been sitting a long time. Why don't you stand up with me? Would you, please? Good. Do you remember the other day when we did the slide? Well, so many of you said you wanted to make a slide over again. Well, in order to really make a slide, you start way down here, you see? And you know how you climb up the ladder? One step at a time, one leg. Yes, I'm pretending my hands are legs. And then you get right up the top, and you sit down. And what happens? Ooh, down you go. Just like that. A slide goes kind of fast. Would you? You want to do it once more? Sure. Where do we start? Down, down, down. Climb, 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 climb. Step, 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 step. The top. Sit down up here. Ooh, and down you went. Oh, that's always fun, isn't it? Sure. Look what we have over here. Our great big pad of paper, scissors, some black paper, and a jar of paste. Oh, sure I am. I'm going to cut it this time. You know what I'm going to do? Well, I'm going to take a piece of paper and my scissors, and I'm going to cut this whole piece of paper up first. Just like this. Oh, all kinds of different shapes. And then we'll see what we can make. Well, I don't know yet. No. Just, well, it is a little bit like cutting a puzzle. A little bit. This is fun. Oh, of course I'm having a good time. There. The whole piece of paper is all cut up in pieces. Looks a little bit like a puzzle, doesn't it? A little bit. Now all I need is a jar of paste. I'll take the lid off first. Where am I going to start? Which piece? I'm going to push them all out of the way and start right here. And you keep watching, and then you see what you think this looks like. She did. Oh, yes. yesterday she got it for you? I know. Well, sometimes you don't get things the same day. Sometimes you have to wait until your mother is able to go to the store and really buy them again. Mm-hmm. But you're able to wait, aren't you? Oh, I don't know. Let's paste this on next. I think we can, don't you? You think it's going to be a what? Does that look like a leaf? Well, you know it does, doesn't it? Well, right here, I'm going to put some paste. And let's put this down here. What does that look like? Oh, we didn't get paste on the corner, did we? There. There. We could. Or should we put this here? No? Up? Here? All right. Let's turn it over. You know, sometimes it's hard to turn pieces of paper over when they have had paste put on the back of them. I know. Because sometimes they curl up a little bit. And then that makes them a little bit hard to... Yes, I know. Sometimes it happens to me. Does it ever happen to you? Sometimes do you get paste on your fingers? Never? Ooh, I do sometimes. Sure I do. What did you think that last piece was that I just pasted? You did? Looks like a little tent. Is that what you said? Well, now does it look like the same thing? It doesn't? Oh. Yes, I'm just putting paste on these pieces, and then we can kind of look at it and see what we think it looks like. I have to keep moving the pieces over. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I may not have room for all these pieces. No, and then I could save the pieces and use them another time. Sure. I think I'll just have time to paste one more picture because, you know, it's going to be Miss Helen's turn. Yes, I called this a picture, didn't I? One more piece. Yes. And we can't take all the time. We have to leave time for Miss Helen for her turn. Yes, because after her turn, then it's your mother's turn, isn't it? And we don't want to spoil it for them. There, look at that. Say, now look. Look what we made. Just by pasting pieces of paper. Oh, you can have such a good time cutting paper and pasting it on and then guessing what it looks like, can't you? Well, I should say you can. Yes, but now Miss Helen is ready, and I know you're ready. So would you go get whoever's at home with you, please? Thank you, boys and girls. Are you? All right, why don't you go do that right now while I talk with your mother. We did. We had a book this morning. Well, another one of our favorites called Growing Things. We had it for a very special reason this morning because, yes, this is about planting a sweet potato. And we actually planted our sweet potato this morning. And it's such fun, and I'm sure the children will be able to tell you how to plant it because it's so easy. Now, I caution them that they cannot use the paring knife, which is sharp, to cut the potato, and that they should ask you or their daddy or someone who knows what to do with a sharp knife, someone much bigger than they are, to cut the potato. The rest of it they can do and really have fun. And you know, just as you like to watch your garden and your plants grow, so do children like to watch their plants grow. Just like you like to watch your children grow, too. Yeah, and of course, Kix. is a very good, nutritious cereal to help them grow, isn't it? You know, we have a very special train this morning, which is like this. The engine and all of these cars. Oh, and they're real. This is a real, genuine scale model train. And you know, there's a new kicks box, which I want to show you. See, right here. And this really is a scale model train. And that boxcar alone is worth $2.25. But you can get it with one Kicks box top and only 60 cents. Isn't that wonderful? Well, really, these cars come in kits. And older brothers, daddy, mother, and all the rest of them can have fun putting them together for the younger children. Now, you're going to want that whole train, I know. And this is really extra special. It really is a $14 value for only $3 and 3 Kicks box tops. Isn't that wonderful? Oh, I'm so glad the Kicks people did it for you. You know, with holidays and birthdays and, oh, it seems to me, there's always something special, isn't there? But you know, well, you want to get things for children, that's right. And we've been talking a lot about the kinds of things that children like to receive and the kinds of things that they can do so many things with. But now, you know, there's something else that we always have to remember when we're giving presents to children. That is, we want the kinds of things, whether they're creative materials or any other kind of play material, that the child can use alone to be resourceful, to have fun, which he can get great satisfaction from playing with by himself. But every child also needs the kind of play materials that he can share and play together happily with older brothers and sisters, with the friend that lives next door, with the cousin that comes to visit. Now, what kinds of play materials are there that children really can share and have fun? Well, a train is one, because you always want somebody to be the motorman or the engineer, and you always want someone to be the conductor, or you always want someone to be the man who rides in the caboose, or the man who puts the gates up. Oh, children can just dramatize and pretend that whole episode, can't they? And have a great deal of fun doing it together. Building with blocks, well, that's the kind of play material the child can use alone or with his friends. Books, alone or with friends. And we have to go up and down the list of things and say, does my child have the kind of toys, the kind of play materials that he will share? Now, when I put in that word will share, I can almost hear you say, yes, my child has them, but he doesn't like to share. What you really mean is that he hasn't learned to share happily yet. He hasn't really enjoyed or experienced the satisfaction that comes with sharing. And we're going to talk about that again another day. In the meantime, have lots of fun with your children, because it's time for me to say goodbye. Goodbye.